Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the Sunday Night Football Showdown slate, and this one should be a great one. We have the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs over-under pushing 60, so I cannot wait to talk about it. But before I get in the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos as well as live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. Make sure to check out the live stream tomorrow morning. I'll be doing a general Q&A breaking down the Week 5 main slate. Also, I'll be doing a YouTube live stream for this Showdown slate as well later in the day. If you're unable to watch these YouTube videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. Link in the description below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on Patreon.com. Also linked down below. NFL package, NBA package, and an esports package, all are the different packages that I offer. And I do want to thank the sponsor of this video, Prize Picks. I'm sure if you guys have been watching my videos by now, you're familiar with it. But if it's your first time checking out my channel, there are a couple of ways you can play. The first way for NFL is taking over under on fantasy points. So for this game, obviously we have players projected for pretty high fantasy totals. Or you can go over to single stat if you would prefer to take over under on passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards. But yeah, I like it. It's a nice change of pace because you're not playing against someone, you're just playing against the house. So if you guys want to try it out and sign up, use my code DKDFS, all one word, link down below. You get a 100% match up to $100. So you deposit using my code $100, you get a free $100 to play with. And finally, I want to thank you guys for coming in and supporting these videos, coming in and hitting the like button and subscribing. And we hit over 10,000 subscribers a couple days ago. So really do appreciate all your guys' support. Again, make sure if you do enjoy to hit the like button and hit the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so before we get into the video talking players and the prices, let's look back lineup here from the Thursday Night Football Showdown slate. And you guys knew I would have Tyler Lockett. Like, watching that game, having Tyler Lockett in your lineup was one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen. And sure enough, right, he had like 3 touchdowns called back. He should have had like 50 fantasy points. And sure enough, it's DK Metcalf. That's a big game. Again, there's no in-between with those two, right? It's one smashes and the other's a letdown. And Lockett had so many big plays called back. Absolutely insane. Obviously, the long ball that the guy just tackled him would have been a touchdown. Oh, that was so frustrating. Van Jefferson had a catch, I think the first catch of the game, then didn't do anything the rest of the game. That was a little bit annoying. Russ Wilson obviously got injured. That sucked. But yeah, that was it. I had Robert Woods. Robert Woods was a guy I really liked in the YouTube live stream. Definitely preferred him to Cooper Kupp, and that worked out pretty well. So yeah, that was it for the look back in my lineup. Again, this is the winning lineup in the luxury box. It was which is a $2,000 entry. It's Woods in the captain with Stafford, Metcalf again who smashed, Henderson, Deshaun Jackson, and Alex Collins obviously became a play once Chris Carson was ruled out. All right, so that's it for the look back, guys. Again, Vegas total for this one, it's high. It's 57. I want to say it's the highest so far of the year. But yeah, 2 teams that like to push the pace and 2 offenses that are great. So let's start off with the Buffalo Bills and taking a look at players and the prices. So first, let's take a look at the snap counts here for each of the skill position players. So running back, it's basically been a 50-50 split with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. 56% for Moss, 44% for Singletary. At wide receiver, so Sanders and Diggs have been playing majority of the game, about 75% for each. You had Cole Beasley play about half the game, and Gabriel Davis snaps went up a bit. He played 43%. Kumro got a couple snaps, and you also had Isaiah McKenzie see the field a little bit. He's a speedster. And then tight end Dawson Knox played 81%. Backup Sweeney played 31%. So Josh Allen coming at 12.4K. I think it makes for one of the safest options on the slate to no one's surprise. Both quarterbacks are super safe on this slate with massive upside and a total pushing for 60. Both have some rushing upside too. So yeah, love both quarterbacks. I don't think there's a ton else to really say here. Now, Stephon Diggs being priced sub 9K, that feels too cheap. He's a guy that's going to get probably double-digit targets. He is their clear number one wide receiver and the guy that has the most upside on this team. So I do like this price in Stephon Diggs a good amount. Emmanuel Sanders has been playing just as much as Stephon Diggs. Now, at this point of his career, doesn't have as much upside, but it's been pretty safe, right? 8, 6, 6, 6 targets. We know Buffalo is definitely a pass-first team, so I think Sanders is fine. But, if you have a salary, I think I would prefer getting up to a guy like Diggs. So, yeah, both running backs, you have Moss at 6'6", Singletary at 5'2". I think that's going to be a pretty even split, both a little bit involved in the pass game. So maybe a small lean to Singletary for the discount, right? I expect both guys to probably get 10 to 15 touches each. So, yeah, both running backs definitely viable. But if you made me pick, maybe a small lean to Singletary just because it's a little bit cheaper. At tight end, so Dawson Knox have been playing pretty well last couple of games. 5, 8 targets. Again, this is a game they're going to have to put up points, and he's going to be out the majority of the time. So at only 6.2K, I think he's a relatively safe option in the mid-range. Going down a little bit more, so Cole Beasley at 5'8", he's kind of been boom or bust, which is a little bit weird for a guy like Cole Beasley playing out of the slot. 14, then 7, then 20, then 3 fancy points. But we're going to need some value on the slate, and I think Cole Beasley can definitely provide that. We know the upside he brings too, so I think he is a solid play at this price point that does have upside. And then, the kicker, both kickers definitely in play if you need some value. Like Tyler Bass has gone for over 10 fantasy points in 3 of the first 4 games so far. The defenses, in a slate like this, I'm probably not going to do it. You never know. One of these defenses can get a pick 6 or something. Definitely possible. But, there's going to be a ton of points scored most likely. So I'm not really looking to either defense. Gabe Davis on a slate where he needs some value, I don't hate it. Again, the snaps did go up for him. He played 43%. I think last week or the week before it wasn't as high. It was 29%. So we're probably in it somewhere in that maybe a third of the game for Gabe Davis. And sure, right, he hasn't done much besides the first week. But we need to get some value. I think Gabe Davis is definitely somebody you can consider in this range because he'll be out there for at least, probably 25% of snaps outside. And then below that, it's nothing really more than dart throws. You have speedster Isaiah McKenzie, who actually is viable. He can break a long one. They give him a couple end arounds. He has 2 carries so far, 1 catch on 2 targets in week 2 there. So I think he is viable as a large field tournament play. Don't expect a ton of run from him, but again, he does have that big play upside. He was the backup tight end in Tommy Sweeney, who had 2 catches in week 3, but that was it. You never know. The Chiefs have 5 tight ends that are going to be viable, who we'll get to as far as dart throws. But, I think that's really it. Akumro saw a couple snaps too, but I think if I'm going to go to one of the min-price wide receivers, I'd rather go to McKenzie, who I think has a little more upside. I move around to Kansas City. Same thing I say about Josh Allen as Patrick Mahomes. Love them here. Super, super safe. Both have big upside. Both have some rushing upside too. It's not much downside to say about either quarterback. So, love both quarterbacks in the slate. As far as Tyreek Hill versus Travis Kelce goes, this is my same take here. Tyreek Hill has more upside. Right, we've seen it, 40 and 50 fantasy points. But he has a lower floor, 10 and 5. Travis Kelce, most weeks going to have a higher floor. Last week, sure, he only had 6 fantasy points, but I'm not super worried about it. Most of the time, he's probably going to get you close to 20 fantasy points. So the safer option is definitely Kelce. The guy with more upside is going to be Tyreek Hill. So, again, it depends on how you want to play it. Oh, also, let's take a look at those snaps. So, at running back, you had CEH play just over half the game. Darrell Williams played 36%, and McKinnon played 12%. At wide receiver, so Tyreek Hill played 81%. DeMarcus Robinson played a little bit more, which was, I don't know why this guy ever sees the field. He played 67% of the snaps. Hardman played low on snaps, 52% for the year. And then Byron Pringle only played 25% of the snaps. We do have Josh Gordon that's going to be activated, and he actually is in front of Byron Pringle on the depth chart. And then tight end, Kelce basically played the entire game. You have 3 other tight ends play. Again, you have Jordy Fortson, who has caught 2 touchdowns last couple weeks, 22%. Bell, 27%. And Noah Gray played 27% of snaps as well. So, we talked about the main 2 guys here for Kansas City. Edwards-Helaire at 7.4. Kind of just indifferent on him. Snap count, probably around 60%, I would say. Probably gets around 15 touches, is involved in the passing game. So, just indifferent on him. Woulda wish he was a little bit cheaper, but if you land on him his last piece in, that's fine. Now, Hardman, and he's number 2 in the depth chart. We'll see if Josh Gordon joining this lineup hurts Hardman. I would guess maybe his snaps go down a little bit. But Hardman does have that big play upside. And again, we're going to need some value on the slate. He's only 4.6K. Buckner, again, kickers, safer options. I'm fine with either kicker on the slate in a super high total game. Darrell Williams again, I don't know why they do that. They have, obviously the flex price, and you click on their name, and on DraftKings it brings up the captain price. But yeah, I think Williams feels a little bit pricey at 3.6K. I don't love it. Again, DeMarcus Robinson will get snaps, but he's not super talented. Viable, but I don't think I can play DeMarcus Robinson. Again, the defenses I'm not really considering either. Now, Josh Gordon I do think is viable. It's an unknown. Obviously, we haven't seen him yet from this team, but they have listed ahead of Byron Pringle on the depth chart. So if you want to roll the dice on a Josh Gordon, I think that's doable for tournaments. We'll see how much left this guy has left in the tank. And then, you have the backup tight ends in Fortson, Noah Gray, Bell, all dart throws. I mean, Fortson, if people are going to chase that, I think it's a mistake. They're all just really dart throws for me. And then, Pringle, if there was no Josh Gordon, I would have liked Byron Pringle a good amount. But now Josh Gordon here makes Pringle very risky. Maybe there's a chance he doesn't see the field. So a lot of risk there. McKinnon played just over 10% of the snaps last game. I think he only has one catch on the year. So again, nothing more than a large field tournament dart throw. And that is really it. So guys, it's going to be a fun one most likely. There's going to be a ton of points scored, and I am super, super excited to watch this game. But that is going to do it for the video today. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos and go live. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you all in the next video.